All right. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Set. 60 or. Watch the safety creep. Out, 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 out. Yeah. Switch.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Go, Jackrabbit. Come on, fight. You ain't doing nothing.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
57's Mike 57.
He's tired of me. Yo, go. 57's Mike.
Quit talking about it and bring it. 57's the Mike.
Bravo.
So we got man.
2nd and 15. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Ready. It's going to be a long
6-6, pull it high.
A first down run from Barkley, pretty well defended. Give him 3 yards on the play. A gain of 3, second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, Barkley. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Down. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Switch gears.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Check, crunch, crunch, crunch. Hey!
50 seconds to Mike.
Go.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
Ready. 8-3.
50. You must be getting tired.
80 weapon. Hit it.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check the outs. Check the outs. Check the outs.
Ready.
2nd and 6. And he'll find Hall. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
We call that.
He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. He'll look to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Check, Mike, 57. 57.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Shit.
2nd and 13. Flush to his right. That's complete to Slayton. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Set. 30 base.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down.
I can't believe they even let you play. 57.
Go.
57 to Mike.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
57 to Mike.
Hey, wahoo.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 57's to Mike. Watch 57.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Here we go. 90, Wolf.
Watch the turn.
Under 10, 10. Let's go.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Breida, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. That's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Check. Check hot. Shift.
Now it's Lindsey. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. That's about as good as a linebacker can diagnose that play, isn't it?
It certainly is, and what he did really well is that while he was diagnosing, he got his feet in motion without actually going anywhere and taking a false step that he had to make up later. He read it, got his feet in motion, and then he just took off and made the play.
I'm coming after you. Mike's 57's Mike.
2nd and 11. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off inside the 10. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
There to make the tackle, Samson Abukum. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Mike, check.
Now back to throw. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Julian Love picks it.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey. Twist. Recon, 132 fighter. Go.
57's the mic.
Go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Looking to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Check it out.
Shoot.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Falcons' 40.
57, Mike 57. Getting away.
Hey, echo.
Switch.
Get it.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
57's Mike. We ain't giving him nothing today. Check 13. Hey, Alpha.
57's the Mike.
They'll drop to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that is caught. What a grab at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away from me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, you hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
X3, 218, chop.
Now Saquon Barkley. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the 1st half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Get it, baby.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Check 24.
2nd and 5. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. He's at the 50. The 30. 20. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, Charlie.
50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds.
He'll drop to throw. Catch made by Slayton. And some space here. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great. Let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt.
Squeeze.
Check. Check the backer. Check the backer.
Oh, the spin. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half.
That's caught inside the 20. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 59 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
Come. Let's go.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
52's the mic right over there, right? 52's the mic. Hey, watch the slant.
A Again, McCaffrey. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Christian McCaffrey hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Come on,
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Exit.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
First down, Giants.
On the ready.
Check.
Rock it.
Smith.
Ready.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's a 2nd and 7. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ready, break.
52. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Misses yet again, and the struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet, arm, not in sync at all. He ends up throwing that one past his receiver that's open.
On play action, they'll throw. He sets to fire deep, and it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Hey, Haywood! 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Here we go. 57 to Mike. Look at me. Zipper. Go. 57 to Mike. Watch 57. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Ready?
They're going to look to throw. And Ingram hauls it in. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
First down, New York.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
You think you won't get this? Watch the edge. Check. Lucky. Watch it.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
It's a gain of 10. And the Giants first down.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4.
50, plant. Hey, echo. Sponge.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
10-2 stop. Bud. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Go. Don't let him breathe. Play outside deep. Don't let him breathe deep. Hey, Alpha. 57 to Mike. Get it.
Back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 39. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. Christian McCaffrey, his second touchdown of the night. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
But this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Philip Lindsay on the return. The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
X3, 218, chopper.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. He'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
We've been around this league for a while. Never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. He wants it all for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back.
Got it.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he's got his man on the comebacker. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
61, matchbox lights.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. 6-6, pull it high. Hey, zoom. Hit it.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he will find his man on the outside. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Breida. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. The kick by Sanders is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.